What it is, focus your homeboy first, back again with another episode of the realest, most entertaining sports show in the game. Put it on some, okay? Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button, put all your people on it, share, 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 share. You understand? I am happy to have my player partner back here with me, Jason Clay. He is real now. The man is real. The man told y'all that if Bud Crawford won the fight, he was gonna come back on here and get a man his flowers. He said that, okay? Y'all know we put it on some and we put some on it. You feel me? And the man had already paid up. You know what I'm talking about? Send me cash out. You know how you had to hit that request button? I thought I was gonna have to hit that request, but I didn't have to hit that request. Okay. He went ahead and sent it to me. You feel me?
Yeah, I'm real. You know what I'm saying? I'm real. So,
okay.
hey,
he
you
real.
only got your word.
Gotta get that to him, okay? And he is here with us tonight, okay? Now, for those of y'all who missed the fight or you still sleeping and you missed the minute highlights, they putting damn near every knockdown out there on social media, okay? It was pretty much a washout. I think on the unofficial card, they had Errol winning the first round. I would love to see what the real cards had, you feel me? But then from second round on, after that first knockdown, it was pretty much a wrap. Some are even alleging that Bud carried Errol from that second to that ninth. Maybe to try to we gonna see what he got to do with that. Maybe to try to, keep the interest in a rematch, maybe. I don't know, okay? But Clay, you real enough to come on after that situation? You had your money on Errol, not only with me. I think you had 3 bets out there, you know what I'm talking about? But you're real enough to come on. So go ahead and speak your piece on what you saw and why do you think not only that Bud won, because you even said you wouldn't be surprised if Bud won. You were, going for Errol and you were betting on Errol. But the way he got dominated, like what the hell was that shit about?
I ain't see that. But first and foremost, I just want to give Bud his credit, his flowers, his just due, all that Bud showed me. You see what I'm saying? And so it's like, as a boxing fan, even though I lost, I ain't upset that Errol lost because I was just looking at both fighters. Like I said, I rock with boots before the other 2 of them. So I don't got no really dog in the fight. The only dog I had was them bets. But I was just observing from each one and looking at history and this and the third. And I was like, okay, let me put my money on this. So it ain't no hate that he lost. I'm more so mad that I lost my money. But at the same time, as a real boxing fan, you have to give Bud his credit for what he did last night. But you got to. Like, I don't care if you look, Errol Spence fans out there, I know it hurt. I know it's bad that you're seeing your boy get whooped like that. It hurt me because I seen my money, my percentage of my money was going down and down and down, like down and down. So it hurt me too. But I'm a boxing fan first. Hey, sometimes you get things wrong. Like I said, who thought Buster Douglas was gonna knock out Mike? You see what I'm saying? Who thought, you know what I'm saying? Ali would have got taken out there here and there. Who thought, it's a lot of things where you like, hey man, I ain't see this one coming. But hey, it happened. So you gotta give Bud his credit. Like I said, the first male boxer in the 4-belt era to be unified at 147, 2-time unification. Historic, bro. Like I said, and then for me, he solidified his Hall of Fame. It put a stamp on it. He already was gone. But that stamped it right there. And not only did that stamp that, man, that may have boosted Bud up into almost legendary status, bro. Because, man, what he put on last night was a masterclass. And see, this is a person who betted on Errol and was looking at it like, man, I don't know. Because you remember in the previous podcast, I was saying, they saying Bud this, but I don't know because he ain't been in there with the competition level. He did that to the man at that division. So all them excuses as far as to he ain't fought nobody, they got to go out the window. Even though his resume was light, but he did that to the guy who wasn't light. So like you got to give him his credit.
Sean Porter and Kell Brook and Amir Khan.
I can't look. I'm talking about Prime. Spence in his prime. You see what I'm saying? You know, like you can't use that excuse with Spence. Like Kel and Sean Porter, they was all already out the door. Spence won. Spence was trying to be unified. You see what I'm saying? So it's like,
Was Sean out the door, or did Bud send his ass out the door?
nah, he was out the door because he even said he was out the door with Errol. Really, he was pretty much like after that fight, he said he was done. But you know, when you get a bag like that, it makes you come back in. But that is his words, right? And we know Kel really was out the door. But I'm talking about somebody in their prime who they saying just as good as you at that point. So that right there, nobody, like I said, if you got any Bud hater out there still talking about, you can't say that no more. Because he not only did he beat Errol, he dog whooped Errol. You see what I'm saying? It's a difference. It's a difference between beating somebody and beating shit down their leg. You see what I'm saying? That's what he did to Errol last night. And Errol is a elite boxer. So if he did that to Errol, man, you got to give him his credit for that. So it's like I said, it's things that I want to talk about, like when we start talking about breaking down the fight and this, and the third. I'm going to get to that. But like I said, for me, I just needed to see him do that against elite competition before I stamped him and said, okay, he liked that for real. He's saying he liked that. We kind of seeing it. But I got to see him do that to somebody who on that level. And not only did he do that to somebody on that level, he did it worse. Like, this is probably Bud's best performance that I have ever seen this man do in his career, bro. And Spence, keeping it gangster, Spence did the worst out of anybody he fought at 147. They're just keeping it real, bro. Like, man, look at it. Like, real talk. Even Avanesian, who are no name, had better success with Bud. I'm going to get back to that to talk about why it was like that, but I'm just saying he did Spence dirty. Carry Spence, like if you talking about people talking about he carried him, man, he could have got Spence out there in the 7 just to be being real. He could have got him out there in the 7, but he really was carrying him. Or I don't know if he was being overly cautious, but to me, he carried him. You see what I'm saying? So, man, he deserved all his credit. And like I said, I'll be the first to say it.
Okay, well, what do you say then on that note? What do you say to those immediately after the fight? Some folks still bringing up Inouye and saying that is he pound for pound. Like, it's still some folks that ain't just giving this man the pound for pound crown. They trying to give it to Inouye, man.
Now, this is what I'm saying. The best you can say, if you trying to do that with Inouye, the best you can say is, at best, is 1A and 1B. To me, it's 1 because Bud is fire. Like, you know, in them lighter weight class, yeah, he moving it through multiple weight class. What is it, like 4 that he done did? Yeah, he moving up multiple weight classes. But Bud done moved up 3. And when you start getting past, like you said, when you start getting past them little featherweights, you start getting into people who can put that thump on you. It's just like when you moving up from welterweight to heavyweight, you start getting people who can like, it ain't just about bam, 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 speed and this, and the third. It ain't just about that. It's about, okay, I got the power to knock you out. Now, Inouye got it, and Inouye got boxing skills, but he ain't did enough that what Bud kind of did. Even though he pound for pound he up there, but to me he number 2 and Bud number 1, and Bud solidified this. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, so what he did to Errol, I mean, Cool Boy got whooped, but I'm trying to see did. Yeah, I gotta say, Errol did worse than Cool Boy. I'm just saying. Okay. Cool Boy face wasn't looking like that, but that go up to that power and stuff like that. They go up to back to that. But nah, people saying in a way you could kind of get him up in there, but nah, man, it Bud number 1. He earned that last night.
All right, this the other thing that's floating on the timeline then, and I don't know if you caught it. All right, but Errol and Derrick James kind of floating stuff about making the weight. And so it's a lot of folks out there that's clinging to that. And it's like, oh, he was drained. Somebody said something was wrong with his skin. They might have been Deontay Wilder, I think. Man, you can see it in his eyes and in his skin before the fight. Like he was drained. He couldn't, all this shit. Now, when I saw it, I'm like, bullshit, man. Every fight that I saw him, man, the motherfucker was at 147. Like, you did this your whole career. Now, I know when you get older, hell, I'm living proof of this, goddamn it. I'm 38
Me
years
too,
old. Hey, that metabolism started to slow down a little bit. It's like, if you ain't just going like you supposed to, shit, them pounds started to add up a little bit.
Real
But
quick.
this man is training. This is what he does for a living. So I don't personally want to hear that shit. When this man been making 147, this what he does. Like, have you seen folks saying that?
I've been seeing people say that, and this one I'm saying, I got my own spin and version on it. Number one, it ain't no excuse. Because once you sign that contract, it's just like you getting on that basketball court, and it's just like you get on that football field, bro. Once you say you step on that field and you say you good, ain't no excuses. If you get burnt on a route, but you know your ankle hurt, you need to sit on the sideline instead of trying to get on that field because you're getting burnt. Ain't nobody want to hear that your ankle hurt and this and the third. If you that hurt, you need to get off the field. If you're on that court and your thumb messed up or whatever it is, hamstring tight or whatever it is, don't nobody care if you're getting cooked for 30 or whatever it is. You shouldn't step out on that court if you know you can't perform to your best abilities. Now, I'm gonna get on into it later about what they trying to say, but what I'm trying to say, what it is, that it was hard to make that weight because he been saying that, and he not like, it's a difference between like Bud being coming up from weight classes to get up to that weight, even though it was hard for Bud to make that weight, but it's easier for Bud. It's like a lot of things that go into it, and I'm gonna break it down a little bit more when we start getting into the fight. It's easier for Bud to do the things that he want to do and make that weight than Errol. But at the end of the day, there's no excuse, because if you felt like you couldn't perform at your best at 147, even though you was trying to chase to be undisputed, and you seen that stuff was getting prolonged and dragged out, you should have just moved up to 154. That's what you should have did. If you signed a dot on 147, hey, ain't nobody trying to hear that you weight drained and this and the third, no matter if you is. That ain't no excuse, because you signed up. For you the one stayed at 147 this long. So it's on you. Like you said, you've been fighting your whole career. Well, he fought some fights at 154, but the bulk of his career been at 147. So, I mean, it's what you signed up for. I mean, you got a pretty hefty payday for the tail whooping. So, I mean, ain't nobody gonna feel sorry for you when you taking multi-millions in the bank. You just lost. That's all it is.
Now, in terms of the fight shit, then all this talk about 147, 154, the shit that was getting his ass whooped, that shit ain't gonna change at no weight. Like somebody made a dope. I don't know how they got away with making this video, but these folks done put out a video like within 24 hours with some of the fight film and chopping it up. But it's very well done, and it's showing how Bud was basically countering his jab with a jab while slipping his jab simultaneously. Real slick, like so. Errol shoots his jab, which, like I said before, is predictable. I think your analogy with Tim Duncan. We know Tim Duncan was going to the left block, gonna operate off the left block, jab off the glass, shit like that. Okay, you know what he finna do. Okay, it's can you stop it? You know, Errol was coming forward, jabbing his way in, trying to set up the big left hand. So all Bud had to do was be ready for that bitch, and he was able to very subtly slip and counter, not with a flicking jab though. Now that's the thing that speaks to his unpredictability. I've seen him that's one criticism I had sometime with Bud when he was in the southpaw. It seemed like his jab wasn't as stiff. It was sometimes pawing.
But was stiff last night.
Stiffer than
last night.
What? And in the post fight, he said they distinctively worked on that. A much stiffer jab for Errol. You see what I'm saying? That's impressive.
Now, I'm gonna give you that because and I gotta reach back to come forward, right? You know what I'm saying? And this ain't no excuses or nothing like that, because like I said, Bud, it showed Bud being smart. Like, because at the end of the day, whatever, if I reach back forward and talk about what he did up until this point, it just showed that Bud was smart and was laser focused on Errol. Even from back then, through all them fights, he did everything to lead up to Errol. Meanwhile, Errol was doing everything to get them belts instead of taking Bud. Bud took Errol more serious and Errol took Bud serious. You see what I'm saying? So let me reach it back. All right, when they first moved up in the division, right, like we were talking about last time, Top Rank really wasn't trying to give him that fight like that because Top Rank, they wasn't doing business, lawsuits, blah, 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 whoop de whoop. So even though he was calling out them fighters, right, Top Rank wasn't finna let him get in with a lot of them people like that, especially with him moving up the elite people, right? So that wasn't Bud fault, right? Now, what I said was when he re-signed, that kind of messed Bud up because you're not finna get these fights, period, still. So why would you re-sign instead of just going while the smoke was? But see, Bud smart. And see me looking back, how he did Spence and everything that led up to it, it was incomplete because I needed to see the final puzzle piece to see what it was. Bud smart. He was like, when they was at Maurice Hooker fight and they Oklahoma, when they were talking loud noise to each other and this, and the third, and Spence was like, man, you too little, man. I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do this. And Bud was like, man, you did it, I'm gonna do this. See, Bud knew he was too little. He understood, like, man, I'm just moving up. I gotta get right. I got the skills, I got the time, and I got A, B, C, and D. But I need that weight and that power to come up here. So what he did was after that fight, after that talk, Bud got with Snack. And what he got with Snack was he increased his weight, but he kept his speed. You see what I'm saying? Like, and that was critical because it's like you can increase your power and this and the third, and your speed go down. And there's a lot of times you can't do certain stuff. But he kept his speed with his power. And he progressed all that through up all them fights. See, Bud, me as a boxing fan, I was getting mad at Bud because I was like, man, why is he fighting these bum ass or these dudes that's out finna be out of the way and these inferior people that he know he gonna beat? Bud being smart. Bud was in the lab, tinkering and toying and perfecting his tools to when he got to Errol. So he ain't care if, as a boxing fan, you care if you get in the ring. We want to see the best of the best fight, right? But the Bud did that old Mayweather type of shit, bro. He was like, I'm finna make sure I win and prepare myself to win. So while he was fighting Kell Brooks and that's washed out, I'm looking at Kell Brooks' timing when he throw the jab and this and the third, because Kell Brooks got the best timing at this point of the division, even though he later down the road, but he still got that timing, because timing is anticipation and all that type of stuff. While he fighting a mean machine, all right, I'm trying to see how I can sit in the pocket and throw my shots and this and the third. How much wiggle room do I have when I'm setting up my space? Now, even though he was getting touched up in this and the third, he was experimenting. You know, when you experiment in them labs, and sometimes you put a drop or something into a vial and it blow up in your face, just to find an experiment like Dexter's lab, that's what he was doing. Okay, Mean Machine dropping, man. He just put a little bit in this vial, too much tinkering, trying to figure stuff out. It caught him just in the third, but he ended it. He won. All them fights that he was doing, even though they was bums, he was sharpening his tool set because he had his focus on Errol. So when it came down to it, like you said, what got me was when people say like the jab, right? We ain't never really seen him have that piston jab, right? But he worked on it because he knew I'm gonna need this when I fight Errol, because at this point Errol got the best jab in the division. So I'm gonna need, outside of Kell Brook, he got the best jab in this division and he the man. So I'm gonna need something to disrupt this punch. Now you could come over the top, right? If he gonna fight in southpaw. But okay, what if I still got my speed and my hand speed to throw this jab out before you get your jab off, and it coming with power, because you know Bud right-handed, so that's his power hand. So it ain't like Errol got a piston jab too, but it ain't like a Bud right hand coming with it. So Bud turned his right hand into a piston jab, and it was quicker. And that's why when Errol was throwing his jab, he was timing it and getting there quicker because he had the quicker hand speed. Plus, it was hitting like a straight because it was his right hand. So that, like you said, that's not going, as far as Bud wise, if they move up or whatever it is, weight, that's not really going to affect them. But like I'm bringing it from the past of how he was BSing to my eye, but in his eye, I don't care about you saying that I'm a bum when it comes to this, because if I knock out Earl and become undisputed, all that go out the window. You see what I'm saying?
But that you still
wait. I'm
coming
look,
for this man record though, Clay. The man was not fighting no bums, man.
No, look, wait. When I say bums, I ain't talking about like you trash. I'm talking about like he wasn't fighting purposely. He wasn't fighting the best in the division. You see what I'm saying?
Okay,
that's what I re-say that.
Who did Errol fight that's the best in the division?
At the point, like I said, Kell Brook
He
was.
fought him.
I'm talking about and we had this before.
He fought him. He fought
Wells, we
him.
had this before, Wells.
But he
We talked
fought
about this
him.
before. It's a difference between when you fighting Roy Jones, when you Tarver fighting Roy Jones, as opposed to when you fighting Roy when Roy in his prime. You see what I'm saying? Well, it's a difference between when you playing Shaq when he with the Magic and when he with the Lakers, as opposed to when he with Boston. Yeah, it's still Shaq,
Man,
but
that
this
is
ain't
not no good.
prime Shaq.
That man
Look.
that fight.
This don't matter in the end though, because like I said, he beat a prime person in Spence. So all that what he was doing in the past, it don't matter because he showed up when he needed to show up and he beat a prime Spence. So it don't matter. But we gotta keep it real, just like I'm keeping it real about what Bud did, the great stuff he did. We gotta keep it real. We can't say that a Kell Brook who don't nobody know who he fought at 154, coming off drug rehab, boiling, coming down from 200 to 190, got a month to do all this in the pandemic and all that. We can't say that this is the same
That is
Kell Brook.
That's not in real time. That's not what was being said though. Like I said previously,
Ooh,
in real time, when Bud fought Kell Brook, this is what the people doing the fight was saying.
Man, we ain't talking about what people doing in the fight.
That's real time.
No, I'm talking
what's
about
going on at that time. Now, once somebody get their ass whooped and they start dropping all the excuses, then there's
I ain't talking. Look. I ain't using because, like I said, I'm talking about as a boxing fan, and you looking at a fighter, right?
About. I'm watching the
as
fight.
a fighter. Nobody will. I'm keeping it God honest truth. Nobody who a boxing fan gonna say that Kell Brook, when Kell Brook had a belt, was the same when Kell Brook fought Bud. Ain't nobody gonna say that, Wills, and I'm keeping it real
now. And Bud makes these people look like
look, Bud ain't Bud. Look at what I'm saying.
Bud just made Errol Spence look like he ain't recovered from the damn car accident the way.
But that's in his prime. I ain't saying Bud not gonna beat. I'm not saying that Kell Brook, if Kell Brook in his prime, he gonna beat Bud. I ain't saying
Kell was 45 years old. You know, Bud 35 years old.
Yeah.
So how
I ain't knocking it. This is what I'm saying, Will.
How old was Kell Brook when he fought? So why Bud prime longer than everybody else did?
Shit, why Bron prime longer than everybody else? Sometimes you just did.
Bron ain't in his prime.
No, I'm saying shit. If he ain't in his prime, I don't want to be in my no prime. Then let me get there so I can go to the league.
No,
I'm just saying.
Prime Bud was a two-way superstar.
I know. I'm just saying. Well, we talking about why Bud. I mean, why
what I'm saying
Bron still consistently good.
Okay, this is what I'm talking about. Bud 35 last night.
Mm-hmm.
Spence 33 last night.
Mm-hmm.
Kell Brook was around that same age. I'm gonna look it up to be sure. But
saying
this man wasn't 40 fighting Bud.
No, I'm saying, look, this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. It ain't like with boxing, and you know this, Will. It ain't about like it's about age too, but it ain't always about age. It's just once you hit that number.
He only had 2 L's. Triple G.
You know what I'm saying? Once you hit that number, sometimes you out of there. It's like, okay, you know what I'm saying? Once you get to a certain point in your career, it ain't the same for everybody. Like with Bud, right? Bud can probably comfortably keep fighting for a couple of more years. You see what I'm saying? He comfortably can do that. But like, okay, other people, they can't fight up to that. It's like it's different for each fighter.
That be them folk that be taking all that punishment and like a Joe Frazier. Joe Frazier who taking 5 licks to deliver 1. Okay, I give you that.
All right. So Kell, look. So what we were talking about, Kell Brook ain't take no punishment. Remember,
not like that. Now he ain't like
getting no joke. Yeah, he ain't like that. But I'm just saying, at that point in his career, he wasn't prime no more. He was still okay, but he wasn't prime. Now I'm just saying, I don't want to get stuck on Kell Brook because I'm trying to give Bud his credit. You see what I'm saying? So I don't want to give Kell Brook.
You so taking it. You so
nah. Because I'm saying, even with a prime Kell Brook, Bud still gonna beat him. I'm just keeping it real and saying that Bud beat a Kell Brook that went in his prime. There ain't no knock against him because he just beat a prime Errol Spence. So if he beating a prime Errol Spence and a prime Errol Spence beat beat Kell Brook, then I know I don't want to do that triangle theory, but shit, he gonna beat Kell Brook too. Cause he better than Spence and he better than Kell Brook. I'm just saying that he just didn't fight Kell Brook at that moment. But I ain't knocking it though, because he accomplished what he needed to accomplish at the end. But I ain't trying to stray from the subject. But I'm just saying, like, okay, him when he fighting these people like that, he not fighting them like I see it now. That he not fighting these dudes and struggling with them. If he do get pieced up, or if he do get take a little punches and punishment here and there, it's because he was putting stuff together because he got Spence in his targets. So he like, let me work on this because I'm just moving up from 135. It ain't like I'm just gonna jump straight into 147 and just be walking on water like that. I gotta get acclimated to it. That's why Bomac was saying, y'all done messed up and let Bud get acclimated to 147 now. They saying that, hey, Bud had to fill into 147. He had the skills, period, but it ain't just all about skills sometimes. That weight do affect you. And that's when I'm gonna get like, why you think people saying they using it for excuse, but why you think they saying that about Spence? But he built himself, like I said, it's like opposite, it's like the Twilight Zone, bro. Like this how crazy it is. The stuff that I thought Spence was gonna do, and the stuff that I thought Spence was gonna employ, Bud did it. Bud developed his tools to fight Spence. Spence kept working on what he do good, trying to be undisputed, thinking that
he predictable. I told you
I'm saying
predictable. He wasn't.
It ain't. This what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. That jab, you can say is predictable, but nobody else besides Bud can time and be speeded with that jab like that. Who else that you know that can? Because Kell Brook got timing too, but he ain't timed that jab like that because he don't got the speed with it.
I can't say out of all the fights I watched of Errol Spence, which is every one of his, I didn't see him face no amazing counter puncher like this.
Daniel counter puncher, but he don't got that. He don't got that speed that
amazing counter punch. Okay, and Mikey Garcia, who
Mikey really ever come up. He ain't no counter puncher.
I'm just mentioning him because I know he's a great fighter, but I haven't seen him fight anybody other than Errol Spence. But Errol Spence was just he literally was too big for him in terms of everything, even the reach. Bud reached longer than Errol Spence.
Yeah, he got two. And that's because I don't want to stray away from it. I'm trying to get to like the stuff that I expected and the stuff I didn't expect, right? For both fighters. Like for Bud, right? Because he the man of the hour. What I expected, what I expected was like the timing and the counter punching. The hand speed. I expected that he coming up from lower weight classes, so he bringing that hand speed up with him. The timing and counter punching, I expected it because he was better counter punching and timing than Errol. But like when you play 2K, right? How you got them badges on my player, that nigga timing and counter punching was that badge was purple that night, bro. Like he was at Hall, his stuff was gold. That night, his stuff was on Hall of Fame. He had a Hall of Fame timing and counterpunch badge that night. And I'm gonna tell you, like when you were talking about him weaving the shots and this and the third and catching, like man, this when I knew I was like, yeah, Bud, the boxing guys have anointed Bud tonight. Man, that man threw out a jab, right? Spence countered it, right? Bud kind of caught it, rolled with it, and came back with a shot. Bam! You see what I'm saying? So I'm like, man, Bud is setting up traps like that to where he countering the counter and coming with stuff that hurt Spence. I was like, man, he on another level tonight. You see what I'm saying? So
he on another level, period.
Look, he on another level tonight. All right. So I expected the counter punching and the timing, but he took it on another level, right? All right, the jab, right? That's what I didn't expect because I knew he had a jab, but he never showed a piston-like jab. He never showed that. And the Bud Crawford fans saying that he did, they lying. He ain't never showed no piston-like jab. It was more of a setting it up, a range finder. He gonna set up combinations, traps, and stuff like that, pawing, to disrupt stuff. It was that. But he showed a piston-like jab. So it wasn't like I underestimated.
Now he did stun Kell Brook with a jab now.
Well, that's more so. That's his little check jab, hook type of thing. He always do that. You know, like with that jab, right? What that's why he go into southpaw, because off that jab, he can do a check hook, that step back hook. I mean step back uppercut, or like you said, he can do that little hybrid. It's a hook / jab type of thing. That's what he called Kell Brook with. But I'm saying a piston like what he was doing the Errol, he ain't never showed that he can do it. Like he told you, like I mean he didn't tell you, but like you heard him say,
he said he worked on it.
he said he worked on it. So they ain't expected. You know what I'm saying?
But
I ain't
told
expected.
You, he's brilliant. He's unpredictable. He's
look.
Like Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick don't bring the same defensive strategy out there for every week like Tony Dungy did. Okay, you know you played the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, you were getting the cover 2. Deal with it. You know what you get.
Yeah, okay? But you're gonna come with different exotic schemes out there cover 2.
But Bill Belichick bringing all kind of different shit. You don't know what you get. You might be getting man. You might be getting bliss night. You might be getting zone. You don't know what the fuck you getting from that motherfucker. But he gotta have heady players. And I read in some articles, like Belichick want to make sure the motherfuckers he draft actually got their degree. You know how some of these motherfuckers leave after 3 years, never go back and get their degree.
Mm-hmm.
He want to make sure you got
high IQ players.
High IQ. Well, that's how Bud is. Because
I expected the IQ. Now, the thing that I didn't expect
manifest itself, though. That's what I'm saying. You ain't know how it was gonna present. You know what I'm saying? Because
but I knew, you know, he got different tools. Now, the biggest thing that I did not expect, and if anybody sit up here and say that, yeah, they did, Spence fans, Bud fans, anybody fans, if they said that they expected this, they a motherfucking lie. I did not expect Bud to come in the heavier fighter, bro. Did you see that?
That was something that Ray C's Leo kept saying. He was like, man, Bud is bigger tonight. He kept saying
he was.
Now I was a little pissed that Showtime didn't give us the walk-in weight. HBO used to always give us the day of the fight weight. I've been watching a lot of post-fight interviews and trying. Still, I haven't gotten that.
Bro,
have you got that?
I can tell you now.
I would love to see what they actually worded last time.
I can tell you now, he was heavier than Spence. Which, like I said, that Twilight Zone opposite day type of stuff, ain't nobody expect Bud to come in being heavier than Errol Spence, because he not the naturally bigger guy. Errol gonna be the naturally bigger guy, which means he can hydrate back up to a heavier weight. Bud came in heavier and stronger than Spence. So it's like, and so now let me transition into the stuff I expect and the stuff I didn't expect. Now, it ain't gonna be much with Spence because he got his ass whooped like that. So it ain't much like that I can give him credit for. Like the good and the bad. It's stuff that I can't say good and bad for Bud, because Bud did everything good.
Before we get off this, since you said that, I want to make sure I give him credit for making the fight.
Yeah, see, I'm gonna go back to that. Where Bud is expected and not expected, because he did everything good. For Spence, it ain't expected or unexpected, because he really did a lot of stuff bad. The good things, he, like you said, he made the fight.
That was big. Gotta appreciate him for that.
He made the fight. He gave up his A-side power, bargaining power, gave it to Bud and this and the third to make the fight. So, you know, that's commendable. He didn't quit. You know what I'm saying? He ain't sit on that stool and say, cause he got battered. He ain't sit on that stool. Even then, when the ref stepped in, right, he still was like, man, come on, you know, everybody gonna protest at the end, but it's too much for you at that time. All right. And then after the fight, he didn't duck the interview. He gave Bud his credit, you know what I'm saying his timing was off, but Bud, you know, it's just that, you know, the better man had his night. Dapped Bud up, hugged him up, showed him the respect and everything. All right, that's as far as the good thing. That's all the good. Now let's get to the bad. The bad, if you talking about that you gonna step to this man, and if you talking about you finna break that man will and all that, this and the third, why are you coming in lighter than Bud? Like at this point, right? I already said that Bud gonna have the hand speed advantage. He gonna have the IQ advantage. He gonna have the counter punching and timing advantage. But to kind of help you out for your advantage is I'm gonna come in the bigger, stronger guy. So that, okay, when I am throwing punches, they landing and they hurting. So that's gonna make anybody, I ain't just say Bud, but make anybody think like think for a split second because these shots are coming with power. And it makes you split second think a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And they coming into succession. Why are you coming into this fight and Bud heavier than you? At this point, now Bud has not only the timing, speed, and counterpunching advantage. This man got the weight advantage and the strength advantage. You basically have no advantages at that point. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, that's why it got ugly. And this one I seen this. When they did the weigh-in, you know, that's the ceremonial weigh-in. But Bud had missed weight a couple of times. This is the third. Spence made his. But the ceremonial weigh-in, it's stuff like, you remember I was telling you about, now it's all making sense. Now since Bud whooped the man, and little small stuff that I seen throughout is coming together. When Spence got on that scale, right, and Bomac went over there and peeked to see what it was and this and the third, man, Bomac was looking like, oh, this all this nigga weigh-in? Because you know that's the ceremonial weigh-in, right? They already did the earlier weigh-in, so whatever weigh-in that they made then earlier, that's what they get. The other stuff is just what you is on the scale. It can be 150 something, but they ain't gonna say 150 something. They just gonna say 147 or 146, blah blah blah, because you already did. And he peeked over there and looked at that. Oh shit, that's all he is right now for real. So when they getting up there, I'm looking like, well, I know they ain't gonna be too much of a big of a difference because this ceremonial, you know what I'm saying? They gotta be at this weight. Man, when they came up in that ring and they took all their stuff off, I'm looking like, damn, this nigga still the same weight. And I'm looking like, damn, Bud the same, bigger than this man. I said, shh, man, this shit may be rough tonight, bro. Look, so this what got me. Bud hit him with a jab. Now, I done seen in that second round they knocked him down. I done seen this man take an overhand right to the face, clean shots to the face that's heavier than that. Bud hit him with a jab and it hurt him, right? And it wasn't even powerful like that. I said, damn, but I was like, well, maybe he caught him off balance because that back foot was up. He knocked him off balance. He was like one of them knockdowns and stuff like that. But then I started seeing like, damn, the man nose bleed, his eyes and shit started doing it. This was sealed the deal. Man, Errol hit that man with a hook to the ear, clean, full choke. Bud ate that shit. Bro, this is what I'm trying to tell you. Like, look, Bud is not known to be super durable like that. But when he hit him in the ear, and Bud just kept walking forward, I said,
that Clay,
I said,
he got
man,
hit one time. I've seen him get stunned at one time now.
No, I'm talking about when you seen Bud get hit with a big shot, you ain't seen Bud just walk through it. He's still getting affected. You know what I'm saying?
I've seen Bud get hit with a big shot, lick his tongue out at somebody, and then come forward. That's what he
you saying you lick his tongue out, but he pulling back. He doing this in the third. Then he get hit and come in and because he getting that lick back.
Yeah.
He ain't do none of that. He ain't even lick his tongue out.
He ain't do that. Now look, he has hella respect for Errol Spence. Because like you said, when he may have been being overly cautious. It's either he being overly cautious or he carrying him. I don't think he would carry him.
I'm gonna tell you what. I'm gonna tell you what it was.
I think he being overly cautious because that's still a big ass left hand that boy got. And
I'm gonna tell you what it was.
That's still a big ass left. I told Ray, if this was basketball, Bud is up 30 right now. But this the only fucking sport, this in UFC, where it's a 30-point shot. So maybe he.
Look. This is what it was. And this coming out Bud mouth, and you know how people like to brag and say stuff after the fight? Nah, I believe him. Okay. Look, when he got hit in that ear, in the face, and he caught flush shot, right?
He did.
Spence that down on it with that left. And he caught him in that ear. Bud ain't budge. He ate that shit, right?
I know he did.
So I'm like this. After the fight, I'm talking about when Spence was going to the body and Bud was shelling up, right? Bud was eating that shit, bro.
I know
he was the bigger fighter.
He was like, oh, this.
Bud said after the fight. Bud said after the fight, oh, that's all you got? When have you ever? This is what I'm trying to tell you. Like, and this me being real, this ain't making no excuses for Spence because, goddamn it, this is what he decided to do. He the one that did this. He ain't had that power, bro, and Bud ain't respected. See, I was thinking that he was gonna be bigger and had that power to make Bud at least respect them shots. He ain't have it. And Bud ate them shots. And when Bud seen that, oh damn, I ain't gotta really for real worry about that power shot like that. Shit, he started being surgical with this shit. He like, man, even if I
he didn't even get, he stayed in the pocket.
And pushed Spence back. Another thing that I seen, Man, that man was moving Spence around in that ring, bro. This is what I'm saying. Like this when you got to be real about this situation because it ain't no slight to Bud by saying stuff like this because he won in the end. But everybody, if anybody say that they thought Bud was gonna come in and be the bigger, stronger fight, they lying. They lying because that's Errol. That's what Errol do. I don't know if it was because he stopped messing around with his old strength and conditioning coach, or if they did something wrong from the Ugas fight to this fight. But I seen Errol tired in that motherfucker. I ain't never seen. This is what I'm saying.
Okay,
Like,
well, bring up your boy then, cause that some folks are coming for your boy Derek James, Mr. Coach of the Year. Some folks are coming for him and saying,
"Oh, look,
have him ready."
Look, I'm gonna say Derek James, and I'm gonna get to that because there's a lot of bad with Spence and his team, right? I'm saying that I ain't never seen Errol Spence have stamina issues, bro. Never. Like that we would have never thought that Spencer had stamina issues. We have been like, well, maybe Bud timing him and Bud quicker to the shot, Bud this, and the third. I ain't never seen him have stamina issues. And Bud wasn't just destroying that man's body. Bud was piecing him up every time he left that head on the line. He was straight headshot killer. He wasn't just digging, killing to the body. So it's like, man, I seen Spence huffing and puffing by round 5, bro. Like, I ain't never seen it. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, damn.
He fucked that nose up.
Man, nah, because you can breathe through your mouth. You know what I'm saying? When your nose broke, you ain't breathing through that nose, no.
Sure, you don't want to be having that mouth too open. He already talked about, and he probably shouldn't have divulged this information. That's the thing about that's shit about these fucking podcasts. Now, he talked about how worried he is about his damn teeth coming out.
Nah, he had, he had just bought a super fitted mouthpiece.
What I'm saying is, you divulge to the public that your motherfucking ass mouthpiece come out and you ain't even giving a damn about what this man doing so much because you worried about getting memed. That's what's going through your mind. Yeah. While you got this some bitch right here, you got belt. Yeah. You worried about getting memed? What the fuck?
That's crazy. But look, that wasn't the problem last night. The problem was Bud hand speed and Bud was bigger and stronger, so it made everything snowball effect. It's like, all right, Spence.
The mindset of Spence be worried about some shit that Bud don't give no fuck about no shit like that. He don't care about it. I saw Bud on the podcast. What you call her ripping him about what's the yellow boy on the pivot? Channing Crowder.
Channing Crowder,
Got a haircut. Man, you ain't gonna get no cut. But I don't give a fuck about none of that shit.
He focused.
I'm gonna come up in that bit at the way in. I got on some Hanes draws. He got on some Hanes, like I got on some Hanes right now, goddamn it.
Yeah, he focused.
No lotion on the legs. He don't give a fuck. Focus.
He focused.
Errol, I don't know if he got that extent.
Now, this what it was. Like I said, that weight thing, to me, I think that was one of the biggest blunders. Shit. I know that's the biggest blunder in his career because it cost him being.
Okay, then. Step away from Bud for a moment. Step away from Bud and Errol. And let's say Errol moves to 154. The whole time he been at 147, one of his advantages that we've been giving him is he bigger. Yeah. So at 154, when that natural advantage is someone taken away, because now you facing bigger. Canelo gonna walk in the ring with you if you fight him. Big, Charlo, all these cats. Like, what do we see from him at 154 then? Because that's where he want to go.
Hey, the way Bud whooped his ass, shit. Hey, if he don't improve, more ass whoopings. You see what I'm saying? If he don't improve, you see what I'm saying? Because the way it ain't like if he lost the Bud, right, and it'd have been a close fight, right? Then you just got to give it up, man. He was just better that night. But Bud dominated that fight. So at this point, you got to do like some real soul searching and looking down and re-strategizing things in your head because it's like, okay, because you didn't have that weight advantage and Bud did have that weight advantage, it just killed everything. Now this go back to me another weakness because I got to keep going on air because shit, if I was breaking down Bud like that, all his flaws and this and stuff that I thought it was in the past and the bad stuff, because don't get me wrong, let me get this out there for both fans, Errol Spence fans. Hey, Errol Spence fans, Bud got his ass whooped. Bud whooped his ass. You can't get around that. Like I said, I know it hurt, but that don't take away from what he did to get those 3 belts. They don't take that away from that. You see what I'm saying?
Oh yeah,
He put in that work like that.
earned those.
He just fought a better guy.
He won
that was
all
on another level.
Every last
He just
one
fought a
of
better
them.
guy that was on another level. Now the same as it is the exact opposite now. Bud fans, even though you dominated the dog that was at that division and you made him look like a puppet, we give you that. You destroyed that man. You had an easier route to get to that. But you handled your business and showed up when you needed to show up.
The man had already unified a whole nother division.
I ain't talking about, look, Will, I ain't talking about 130, 140.
No, but what
I'm talking about 140. No, I'm saying, let me get to the point. I'm talking about 147.
Bud had come in at one. Let's say Bud was born bigger, and he was started at that. So
and with them skills, he with them skills he beat. But I'm just saying he didn't, so we can't use
because he was smaller. But we keep forgetting. All right, so we give him credit for being the first male to unify completely, undisputed.
Because he did what he needed to do.
But then we saying that, you know, that first time you did it, though, that really wasn't about shit. That's what we slick doing. But that what you doing.
Look. This is what I'm saying, Will. I'm not no Spence fan. I ain't no hardcore, die fan for one person. I look at the whole thing.
But I'm just saying, you slick throwing shade on the first undisputed. Like, that wasn't really about nothing. Like, this is the first time you really been undisputed. Like that other one now.
I'm saying he undisputed. You can't take it away. But I'm saying this time he beat a dog. He like had Errol Spence won, right? Errol Spence would have been one of the best welterweights that ever fought. He'd been one of the best. Now you beat that. Julius Ndongo and them never was the best lightweight or nothing like that. You beat a dog this time. That's what showed me that Bud really about that action for real. Because it's like this. The only reason that I really picked against him was because I wanted to see him do that to people that we consider dogs, not people that we knew that he was going to beat. Because Julius Ndongo and all of them, I know you try to throw up them people in them divisions. It's whoever he fights.
You don't respect Ndongo. You act like that's the only belt.
I'm saying he fought like Ricky Burns and all them like that. Nah, man, because it's different. Like
Ricky Burns, can you white? That what it is, Clay?
Nah, because shoot, Lomachenko white.
What we doing?
Lomachenko white, and I respect him. That's what I'm saying. Look. Lomachenko white, I respect him. I can't say in the heavyweight division when it was them Klitschko's and shit like that. Well, they held the belts for a little while. They was white. Tyson Fury was white, and he beat the sleeves off of Wilder and shit like that. He white. I respect white fighters. I just don't respect white fighters that really went about shit like that to begin with. You see what I'm saying? I don't respect that. But I'm saying though, all of that don't matter because the when it was game 6, Bulls versus whatever, he did the Jordan shit. And he stepped up and delivered. All right, that's what I care about.
Final question then. This rematch clause has been activated based on reports.
You ain't even got to ask that question now.
That's the reports, okay? Let's say Bud's competitive nature kicks in. Like his competitive nature was still turned on post-fight. So he was like, I'll do it at 154. I'm in the hurt business.
Yeah, that's what he said.
If it's at 154, do you see it being different? Like Spence might have a real chance of winning.
Nah, man, I don't feel like this. I don't want to see this shit at 154 because shit, it's like this.
So you don't even want to buy that fight. Like that's some shit you don't even want to waste time on.
Nah, because he dominated them too easy. You see what I'm saying? Like it'd have been different if it was a close fight. Then Bud pulled it off, and then I can be like, well, you know, like the weight stuff would be more relevant then because it was a closer fight, and you'd be like, damn, if you couple that with him getting more strength and more power, Bud has to respect certain things more. Then I'd be like, yeah, run that shit back. But it just wasn't about the weight and the power that caused it. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like getting more weight and power, it may freeze. It's like, okay, getting the weight and the power may make Bud be more responsible about, you know, doing certain things because you may come up with a big shot. It may increase Errol punch resistance, which was terrible goddamn last night. But at the end of the day, that shit ain't gonna improve his timing. That shit ain't gonna improve his hand speed and this and the third. It ain't gonna improve all that. It's gonna let me finish up. It's gonna help you do the stuff that you thought you was gonna do. See, one of the problems that Errol had was he was a little bit too arrogant. Bud was laser focused to the point where he would look bad in front of the public to take lesser fights to prepare for Errol and get ready to dog whoop him, and it paid off tremendously. Errol, thinking that Bud was still gonna be that little Bud, the smaller Bud that he was talking to, that little. So when he found out that Bud is bigger and stronger than him in that fight, he had talked too much shit about stepping and pressing. So he was like, let me.
Clay, I can't.
Errol, look, go back to Derrick James. Derrick James gave him instructions and said, step to the right of that jab. Quit stepping to the left and walking into it. Step to the right and throw your jab. But Errol wasn't listening to them instructions. He was still trying to go out there.
And whatever Bomac was saying, Bud was going out there doing that shit was working. They showed.
Yeah, when he told him to turn the hook, turn him into a hook, he was. But look, the damage was done because shit. That jab, this when they broke that jab down with his jab, when he did that. And then he had the power to take Errol Spence's best shot and walk through it. Like, I don't think y'all understand. Bud walked through Errol Spence's best shot. Like, you giving Bud, you gave him over Bud. You talking about Bud was respecting him like that. When Bud felt that them body shots and that shots when he was sitting down wasn't hurting him, he too little. I'm finna go to work.
Because I've seen Bud, once he gets somebody day like that, he just go ahead and finish him. He come in there and start.
Like he felt bad for him.
He didn't do that as
he felt bad for him, bro. That's why I said no rematch, man, because he could have got you out there earlier. And not only at this point when they was fighting, Bud may have had supreme confidence that he was gonna win, but it was a little bit like, well, damn, I gotta see first. But now that he took Errol, now that he did Errol like that, he know for sure that he can beat him. And Errol, and meanwhile, still gonna have that whooping in the back of his mind. It may motivate some people, but at the end of the day, you still got that whooping. So Bud definitely got the psychological advantage over him right now. Not only did that ass whooping that he gave him, it was skills that he showed the skills that he showed multiplied him being more strong and more powerful. You see what I'm saying? Because to me, that was the biggest factor. But the skills just multiplied it to where it was like, okay, you got $10, but the skills 10 times 10 make it 100. So the skills do this. So even though you may have a weight advantage at 154 era, if you still trying to think like you can bully that man like that after you took that ass whooping like that, you ain't adjust. Like this is what I'm saying. He ain't adjust. He kept trying to come forward. Even though he was given proper instructions to step to the side of that jab and throw the jab, he still, that pride in him, man, I said he was too little. I was going to break him. I was going to step to him. I was going to break his soul. So he was still trying to do that. Meanwhile, Bud was like, shit, you too little. I'm finna do that to you. Bud pushed him back. And we ain't never seen it. This is what I'm saying. Like, Bud used his time tremendously well. And it paid off. Errol, on the other hand, was focused on them belts more than he was focused on, okay, Bud got that last belt. Bud looked at, okay, them other belts that I got to get, I got to just get him. So I'm going to focus on him. Errol, I'm going to get all these belts and then focus on Bud. Nah, Bud was more prepared. That gym rat stuff, Errol, in the past, that partying, not taking a tune up, like Bud took a tune up to fine tune them skills he was going to put on your ass. You being stubborn, even though we praising him for making the fight, but you should have took that Keith Thurman fight first to get your rustiness off, because your timing was terrible. You see what I'm saying? I ain't saying it was going to be superb fighting Bud after Keith Thurman, but it would have been better than that. I was overlooking I thought them training camps was going to help him out a little bit more, but was looking at that boy timing was way off. So it was like, that's why you got to keep fighting. Frank Martin the same way, talking about his timing off and this and the third. I don't know what the hell, like you said, maybe Derrick James, they criticizing Derrick James because they saying he got too many people in his camp and he ain't focusing on his fighters like that, like he should be in, which if that's the case, that is on Derrick James like that, because you got a guy who's finna be unified, undisputed, and he fighting a dude who just like that too. You see what I'm saying? He like that too. This ain't like you said you fighting Ugas and this and the third. It's your stiffest challenge. So if you was focusing on Anthony Joshua and all them bum ass Anthony Joshua and all them like that over Errol, that is on him because Bomac got 3 trainers that he can that they can go in and focus on Bud and probably Keyshawn Davis. Really, that's it. Everybody else. Meanwhile, you got Ryan. You trying to teach Ryan shit that he supposed to know from earlier, how to keep his hand up when he throwing punches. You got Anthony Joshua. You trying to teach his technique like that. You got Earl. You got you got Jamel Charlo. You got Frank Martin. You got too much on your plate at that time when you should have been focusing on Bud like they was focusing on y'all. And you see what happened. Like I said, them boys. Bud prepared more. I gotta give it to him. Like I said, when I say
but
he took.
Nah,
look, when I say he was taking lower competition, he used that to his advantage and it was
Clay,
smart. You see what I'm saying?
Okay, the dudes who you respect off of Spence's record, he beat them.
Oh,
you don't.
No, I'm saying, well.
Okay.
Well, we're gonna have to disagree to agree, but it matter when you fight people, man. That's all I gotta say about it. It matter well.
Kell Brook is 37 years old. Okay. He fought him when he was 34. He fought him when he younger. Then okay. Bud is 35 and just won the fight of his life at 35. And you tell me Kell Brook was washed at 34.
This is what I'm saying, Will. This is what I'm saying, Will. So we just gonna ignore that this man was on drugs, Will. We just gonna ignore all this. You thinking this is fake?
This man was coming off of 3 straight wins.
Well,
coming off one knockout.
Well, if Bud Crawford coming off wins, fought Errol Spence, and he snorting cocaine, he out of shape. Look, he out of shape.
He ain't just developed no coke habit then. He probably had a coke habit when he was fighting Spence then.
I'm saying,
that's on
look. No, see, I use words that the fighters use. I don't want to go by what I'm saying. Kell was like when he lost that belt to Errol because, like I said, he losing a belt. He losing his A side. He had a belt. When he said he lost that belt, he was like, man, I went into a depression, bro. Like I was out of that. Man, that man was in a dark. He said he was in a dark place.
Okay, well,
you on drugs.
Well, you using his words, and I'm using his words. By the time he fought Bud, he said he was rejuvenated, and then he got his ass whooped.
Yeah, but I'm saying you gon' like why would he go in and still say, well, I just got off a drug habit? Man, ain't nobody gonna buy that fight. This is all I'm saying, Will. Ain't nobody gonna look at that fight. You know that, Will. This is what I'm saying.
Sean Porter is currently 35 years old. Okay. He's 35
now,
years old right now.
I boost. Look. This what I'm saying.
With that, him in 2021. Okay. So how was he washed at that point?
I ain't look. Kell Brook was washed.
He was up in that fight to
look. Kell Brook was washed. Porter wasn't washed. He just wasn't like this. What I'm saying. When I say they wasn't the same level, I'm not saying that.
Fight. He's fought the same.
No, I'm saying
against Spence, but
I'm saying
a little more cautious because he was with a better counterpuncher.
Who?
Against he didn't come in against Spence. Porter threw caution to the wind and just rushed in, made it ugly. He did. He had a similar fight plan against Bud, but he was a little more cautious because Bud
he got a counterpunch,
a better counterpunch.
But look, this is what I'm saying. I'm not taking away the win from Bud because Bud did what he did. I'm saying just like that, Will, and I can't make it no simpler, man. Like, okay, if you face Jordan, that last shot, Jordan, as opposed to the Wizards, Jordan. Yeah, it's still Jordan, but you know this not the last shot, Jordan. Yeah, it's still Jordan that can.
No. No.
No what?
You acting like these boys were watch by your standards.
So Jordan will watch when he went to the Wizards.
No. Well, I'm talking about these boys.
That's what I'm saying. No, I'm not. Well, you trying to make me say that they were watch. Kell Brook was watched.
You all say they watched.
No, Kell Brook was watched.
So this is
Porter won.
So
but let me do this.
Is this
I actually boost that win up for Porter. That Bud fought. Okay, I boost him up. Because now I don't really think
Is this the first welterweight win that you respect for Bud?
No. I respect that Porter win. Okay. Because look, I respect it even more now because Porter ain't get did like that to Bud.
He did not.
He ain't get did like, so I'm actually boosting that. Cause look, this is what I'm saying. It's a lot of stuff that I ain't see until this fight. I boost that win up now for Porter.
Ricky
Kell
Burns,
Brook, hell no, I gotta keep it real. I'm not gonna get no credit.
Ricky Burns went 12 with him. He ain't get knocked out.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I boost up Porter. But that Kell Brook fight,
I said Ricky Burns went 12. Okay.
Man, come on, Will, man. Will, you my partner. Will.
That's just a fact.
Look, you my partner.
I'm not.
I know you say you love the upper division.
I'm not pro Ricky Burns. I'm not pro Ricky Burns. I've only seen Ricky Burns fight one time. Okay, just against Bud. I'm just saying.
I know. No, I'm saying, look. This is what I'm saying. All that don't matter, Wills, at this point. You see what I'm saying? All that don't matter because you just beat a dog in Spence and destroyed him. All that don't matter about what he did in the past now because he showed that it don't matter if them dudes, if I fought them when Errol fought them, I was gonna do them boys the same way, if not worse. So it don't matter no more because you just destroyed Errol. So that's what I'm saying. I don't care nothing about that weak resume no more. I don't care no more.
You can't keep dissing. Look at that. You're dissing them still, Clay.
I don't care. Look. Well, you want look. I don't care about that resume no more because he was that killer all along. He just was fighting bombs. That's all it was. He was a killer though. Well, he was a killer though, bro. That's all it is. Like he was a killer then, and he's a killer now. And what showed that to me was he whooped a dude who was better than everybody on that resume. Right. Everybody. Right. So, hey, like I said, he proved to me that he just was fighting lower competition, but he still was that dog. And anybody that you put in his face at that moment was gonna get killed. So I can't. Two things can be true. Whereas you can be like Jordan can whoop on me, and I can still be trash, but you can still be Jordan. You see what I'm saying?
If I could,
you get what I'm saying?
If I could bring Bud in, I gotta keep trying to get to this money. Real ones, y'all help me out. Keep supporting, okay? Because I'm gonna pay for them kind of. That boy would be offended by you right now because you shitting on his resume, Clay.
Man, look.
You saying the shit that he called that writer out for, like.
No, look. He ain't gonna be offended if he say that Gamboa and Kavaliauskas was his toughest fights. He ain't say, Kell Brook and all these dudes that you trying to bring up and Ricky Burns.
Because he made them boys look like trash because he's so great.
No, I'm saying this. So Kavaliauskas, right, and Gamboa, right? Ricky Burns had a belt. How many belts Kavaliauskas had? This is what I'm saying. Why he ain't saying Ricky Burns was a tough? This is and Dongo and all them. These are the people that made him this undisputed.
I just mentioned Ricky.
You see what I'm saying? It's two things that could be true, Will.
Location and you could tell it was a big fight. He even mentioned that shit last night. He said that fight means more to him than the Spence fight because it was that first time he was
his first. Yeah, you know, it's just like you knocking down your first. You know,
that's a big moment for him. You know what I'm saying?
But I'm saying it two things can be true, right? Who the best? Who the best in the league right now, basketball wise? Who you think the best?
It's between Giannis and Jokic.
All right, Giannis, right? Giannis can beat Giannis. Mm-hmm. But if he play me, I am no competition for Giannis. And if he beat me, he gonna say Clay was trash. But if he go and do that to Jokic, then he's still a dog because he whooped Jokic, even though he beat me. He not gonna say, ain't nobody gonna say, well, he faced Clay, so Clay really. Nah, they gonna say Clay. Nah, man, Clay wasn't on that level. So that's what I'm saying about Bud. Bud was Giannis then and now because he proved that by beating Spence to sleep, who was a Jokic. You see what I'm saying? So that's all I'm saying
is I respected him whooping Benavidez. I respected that. I expected him. I respected the Kavaliauskas win. I respected.
Hell no. Come on, Will.
I respected the Sean Porter win. I watched these fights and I boost
the Porter up, so I respect that. But Kavaliauskas, Will.
I gotta respect the man that was able to put him down. Actually,
I'm saying that
you still respect Spence.
No, I'm saying that I feel like because the way he did Spence, look, the way he did Spence.
Do you still respect Errol?
What you mean? Errol way better than Kavaliauskas. So yeah, but I'm saying this.
Not by the way, and Styles make fights, but you
Yeah.
can't tell me you ain't got no respect for Kavaliauskas, and he put him down.
I'm saying this. Going back to what I said earlier. Man, I just think Bud was tinkering in the lab on them, bro. Like real talk. I just think he was experimenting on them boys. And sometimes you get caught in the experiment. But when he went to Spence, he had his thesis in whatever he was putting together. And he dog whooped Spence. You see what I'm saying? I don't think he was serious with them boys in the past. I don't think that.
You don't play boxing. This is one of the things that boy I always tell you don't play no boxing.
All right, so why?
He be dead serious. It be Errol on the bullshit.
All right, look. Well, why they had to, when he fought Porter, why they had to say, Bud, you down, and then he started doing what he supposed to been doing?
Because Sean, it ain't like Sean was outpointing him like you getting jabbed to sleep, my eyes swelling up and all this stuff going on. He was making the fight by rubbing, kind of like he did with Spence. You know, Spence got a card. Porter got a card off of
Porter played smart.
But CompuBox, Errol was whooping him. Errol was hitting that man way more times than Sean was hitting him, but the style of the fight.
Yeah, it may fight, but I'm saying the style make it. But when they said, man, you down, he said for real, Porter was doing that same style. It just Bud turned up his style. So was he playing with his food then?
Bud just went out there and caught him. He caught him with that. He caught him coming in wild and timed it perfectly.
Instantly, as soon as they told this man,
that's how
you down. Instantly.
That's how great that motherfucker is.
I'm saying if he could have did that instantly in that round, he could have been did it. That's all I'm saying.
Okay,
I don't think he was being serious in them fights.
Game 6, Mike, Utah. Hey, it's go time. He could have not been passing the ball to the motherfuckers the whole game. He could have said, fuck the triangle. We going 1-4 flat, me versus Byron the whole game. But when he went ahead and needed it, he went ahead and drove Byron real quick, come down, take that bitch from Malone, come down, cross one, ball game. You know.
See, look, I'm actually giving Bud a compliment because I'm saying that this man was not serious with them dudes and he still got them up out of there. He was playing with them. And that's why it made it look like that, as opposed to he was not playing with Errol. He wasn't experimenting with Errol. All the stuff that he needed to learn and do and grow into that division, it was set point match game when he fought Errol. That's why he made Errol look way worse than anybody he ever made look in that division, because he was playing with them other dudes, bro. That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, that make Bud better, in my opinion.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? Because look, you can't tell me that Kavaliauskas and Amir Khan and all these dudes are better than Errol. No matter what you're talking about, styles.
I'm not gonna say that.
But he made Errol look worse. Look, them boys did better than Errol.
They did.
Put that in your brain. He had it. It's either
they did.
He God level molded up. He either hit God level that fight against Errol, or he was playing with them other dudes. It ain't no other explanation as to why the other dudes had better success versus him, no matter the style. You see what I'm saying? It's either he played with them and was experimenting and tinkering and figured out what he needed to do and applied it to Errol later on, put it in the database and applied it to Errol, or he just hit a God level mode versus Errol. It ain't no other explanation as to why he made Errol look worse than the worser dudes. You see what I'm saying? That's why I say that it ain't belittling his career by saying that in the past. It is just what it was. But he God level whooped Errol that night. So all of that stuff, when people try to bring up his resume, that shit is done, bro. Because look what he did to Errol. It's done. You see what I'm saying? You can't, I don't care nothing about that no more. I don't care if it was weak, if it was strong, it was this and the third. The best dude that he needed to do his best performance, the best time when he needed, when it mattered, he dog whooped Errol. So it don't matter about none of that. He always was like that. You see what I'm saying?
So we're gonna leave it like that. Then we're gonna leave it like that. And real,
gotta give me credit.
Y'all make sure y'all check back in with us. We'll be back on this tip. We know we got the next big one coming up. It's a great year for boxing. Okay, we know we got Canelo and Charlo coming up. We also got cats getting slapped in the fucking face backstage and shit. Okay, Plant
Yeah,
slapped the other
they
Charlo.
gotta make that fight.
I think Shakur and maybe Haney and got into it on Twitter either earlier today or last night. A lot of shit going on. Okay,
I think Regis,
it's
they
getting real.
trying to do that Regis and Haney, but I mean, I think Regis, like, it ain't enough money. It's something, man. I don't like, but
It's a great time. So we got a lot
Yeah.
going on, a lot to talk about. Okay, so make sure you supporting these guys. You know what I'm talking about? They don't get the soccer player money. They not getting
Yeah.
the NBA player money. They not getting the NFL quarterback money. But they are the gladiators, the ultimate gladiators. And y'all know it ain't no feeling like a big fight when motherfuckers doing the ring walks and then come out there right before a fight. That feeling you had like last night, only boxing can do that. Okay.
Hey, they made that money. They supported it last night. Them boys got the bag. I ain't gonna lie. Good job, fans. That's what y'all need to do so we can keep seeing these fights, no matter if it was an ass whooping like last night or not. That slick disappointed me. That 5 years and you waiting on that and you see that, but it's boxing. That's how it goes sometimes.
It is. It is. Well, chime in. Let us know what y'all thought about the fight. All right, put it on something.
Thank you so much for watching my daddy's YouTube channel. Make sure you like, share, and turn on your post notifications. Okay, how do I do it?